In this podcast episode, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent discussed the implications of President Trump's newly announced tariff regime, which he described as a transformative move for the American economy and the middle class. Bessent emphasized that this initiative is not merely a reactionary measure, but a culmination of decades of advocacy for a more protectionist trade policy, a sentiment that Trump has expressed for over 40 years. Bessent drew parallels between Trump's tariff strategy and historical figures like Alexander Hamilton, who utilized tariffs to fund the nascent American economy and protect domestic industries. He noted that Trump's approach adds a new dimension to traditional tariff policies by using them as a negotiation tool. This strategy aims to address the long-standing economic challenges faced by American workers, particularly in the wake of the so-called China shock, which has left many in the middle class feeling economically insecure. Bessent articulated a vision for re-industrializing the United States, moving away from a heavily financialized economy that has neglected manufacturing. He pointed out that the COVID-19 pandemic exposed vulnerabilities in global supply chains, particularly in critical sectors like pharmaceuticals and semiconductors. The pandemic served as a wake-up call, highlighting the need for economic security as a component of national security. Bessent argued that the new tariff regime is a step toward restoring the American manufacturing base and providing real wage gains for working Americans. The discussion shifted to the potential revenue generated from tariffs, with Bessent suggesting that the income could be substantial enough to offset government deficits and potentially lead to tax cuts for the middle class. He explained that if tariffs are effective, they could allow for a reduction in the tax burden on American citizens, while simultaneously funding government operations. Bessent emphasized that the administration's goal is to ensure that the benefits of economic growth are felt by Main Street rather than just Wall Street. Bessent addressed concerns regarding market reactions to the tariff announcements, asserting that the stock market's fluctuations are often influenced by broader economic factors rather than the administration's policies alone. He referenced the recent decline in tech stocks, attributing it to external factors such as advancements in artificial intelligence rather than direct consequences of Trump's economic policies. He maintained that sound economic fundamentals, including stable taxes and a favorable regulatory environment, are essential for a thriving stock market. The conversation also touched on the geopolitical implications of the tariff regime, particularly concerning China. Bessent expressed confidence that the U.S. holds a stronger position in the economic relationship, given the trade deficits and the structural imbalances in China's economy. He suggested that the tariffs could compel China to reconsider its economic model, which has relied heavily on exports and low-cost labor. Bessent posited that a potential rebalancing of economic relations could benefit both nations in the long run. Bessent highlighted the importance of maintaining message discipline within the administration, particularly in light of the significant changes brought about by the tariff plan. He noted that the team takes cues from President Trump, who is seen as the most effective spokesperson for the administration's policies. The goal is to present a unified front that reassures both the American public and international markets about the administration's economic direction. The podcast also delved into the role of the Federal Reserve in managing monetary policy and its relationship with the Treasury. Bessent acknowledged the challenges faced by the Fed, particularly in balancing inflation control with economic growth. He emphasized the need for the Fed to focus on its core mission of maintaining monetary stability without getting sidetracked by external issues such as climate change. Towards the end of the discussion, Bessent recounted his experience in Ukraine, where he was tasked with leading an economic agreement as part of Trump's peace plan. He described the importance of establishing a strong economic partnership with Ukraine, which would not only benefit the U.S., but also serve as a deterrent to Russian aggression. Bessent expressed optimism that a successful agreement could pave the way for a more stable and prosperous future for both nations.